Today, we joyfully celebrate the accomplishments of over 160 graduates of our computer science and computer engineering undergraduate programs. Parents, family, and friends of graduates, thank you for traveling from near and far to join this celebration. Before we begin with the invocation, please note these logistical matters. Parents and family members, photography during the distribution of diplomas is welcome, but please be aware that we have 2 professional photographers taking pictures as well. We appreciate your assistance as we work to maintain a smooth flow of graduates during the procession. Immediately after the ceremony, there will be a class photograph taken at the bleachers at the back of this arena. That will be another wonderful opportunity for family photographs of the graduates. I'd like to introduce and recognize the class of 2020 student coordinators for this event who are sitting down here, so you can't see them. Sorry, they'll be up later. Nicole Kamara, Frank Gamolka, Nicole Lee, and Hongri Zhang. I now ask Professor Peter Bowie to come forward and give the invocation. Professor Bowie received the BS, MS, and PhD degrees from Notre Dame, joined the faculty as an assistant teaching professor in 2015, and is now an associate teaching professor in the department. Please welcome Professor Bowie.
Dear God, before you stands the Computer Science and Engineering class of 2022. After fastidiously performing daily health checks, remembering to turn on, or for some of you, turn off your mic during Zoom lecture, pog champing in virtual office hours, and grinding leak code instead of your homework, these students have come to the end of their journey here at Notre Dame, ready to embark on their next adventure. To reach this point, they have had the support of their family and friends, many of whom are gathered here today, the guidance of the faculty and staff in the Computer Science and Engineering Department, and most importantly, the love and care of you, our Almighty Lord. As they take the next step in their life's journey, please help them to remember the wisdom of doing one thing and doing it well, the power of working together, and the importance of communicating clearly. Furthermore, as they reflect on their time here at Notre Dame and recall the lessons they learned both inside and outside the classroom, let them remember that l'essentiel est invisible pour les yeux. What's essential is invisible to the eye. C'est le temps tu as perdu pour ta rose qui fait ta rose si importante. It is the time you have wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important. Tu deviens responsable pour toujours de ce que tu as apprivoisé. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Professor Bowie. I'm pleased to introduce Professor Douglas Thang as our faculty speaker for this ceremony. Professor Thang received his Bachelor's of Science in Physics from the University of Minnesota and a Master of Science and a PhD in Computer Science from the University of Wisconsin. Please welcome Professor Thang.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, family and friends, distinguished faculty, and very happy graduates. I'm so glad you're here. I have to say, it's always difficult to follow Professor Bowie, and I want to thank you for inviting me to speak. You know, I get teaching evaluation comments every year, and one of them is always something along the lines of, I really enjoyed this class almost as much as Professor Bowie's. It's also very nice to see all of you so dressed up. You clean up so well. Just look around at each other. Look around at each other. Right? Usually I see students about 9:30, 9:45 in the morning, wearing sweatpants, eagerly attentive, ready for class. So thank you for being here. Graduation day is a brief interval in which we can all pause and take stock of this moment as one stage of life comes to a close and a new one begins. And, I'm speaking to you graduates here. I'm also speaking to the parents in the back. Now, I know that college involves many different paths for each person. You've all taken different roads to get where you are today. But I have a feeling that there are some experiences that most of you have shared. And let me see if I can think of some that you might have had during your college years. Perhaps you remember arriving on campus on a sweaty August afternoon and taking some boxes and bags out of the car and shuffling them up the stairs and arguing about which dorm you're supposed to be in and where the right room is, saying goodbye to your family, greeting a new and strange roommate. I expect many of you went to your first football game and learned all sorts of interesting cheers and traditions and had some arguments about pass interference. Perhaps you went to the first day of class and read the syllabus and thought, how am I ever going to get this all done? Maybe on that first day of class, you made a new acquaintance and thought to yourself, I think we're going to be friends. Maybe on that first day of class, you made another acquaintance and thought, maybe we're going to be more than friends. Maybe you saw the word segmentation faults appear on your screen. Maybe there was a homework or a paper, an exam, or a class that didn't turn out exactly how you wanted. That's okay, because you're still here. You made it. Now, first year of college went about as you might expect, right? And then in the second year, just as you're hitting your stride for this new life, something unusual happened. First, there were some bits of news that filtered through about a strange new disease on the other side of the world. And then there were some travel restrictions and canceled events, just a precaution. And then all of a sudden, everything stopped. Everyone went home, everyone was isolated, and we did our best to teach and to learn under some new and unusual conditions. The downside of that is you got all the hard work of college, classes, homework, exams, and you missed out on some of the camaraderie that would make all that work enjoyable. Now, as you know, people experienced lockdown in very different ways. Some people had no choice but to continue to work in person. They're at the grocery store, the hospital, the gas station. Some people lost their jobs entirely. Some people were able to keep working from home, but they might have suffered in quiet isolation, or they may have been driven to distraction by the togetherness of a noisy family. Some people welcomed the protection of lockdowns, others protested against the loss of freedom. Many of you got sick sooner or later, and I'm sure that some of you mourned the loss of a loved one, whether near or far. And yet, even during this difficulty, you may have seen some unexpected blessings. Perhaps lockdown meant you spent more time with a relative that you wouldn't have otherwise. Maybe the cancellation of a busy schedule left more time for prayer or just a quiet walk at the park. Perhaps you took up baking bread or building retro computers. Now, the fall semester saw something closer to normal. Living on campus, but social distancing, masks, hand sanitizer, contact tracing, quarantine, and then gradually a return to where we are now. Something like normal, with some changes, but pretty close. And here you are today. You made it. Now, there are some things that may never return to normal. To this day, I have no idea whether to greet somebody by shaking hands, or bumping elbows, or waggling fingers. I just don't know what they're going to expect. And so maybe we just have to live with that. Now, surely, the class of 2022 can lay claim to having lived through one of the strangest and troubling most 4 years in history, right? There was a global pandemic that upended our routines. There's a dramatically polarized political environment. There's now a new conflict unfolding in Europe, with our country unsure as how to proceed. But is our experience unique? I don't think that it is. I think that this is the normal state of the world. Every generation must face its own set of challenges. In fact, the Notre Dame graduates of 1918 faced a similar situation: a pandemic, a war, political upheaval. The good news is that you are well prepared to meet these challenges. You have been tested and not found wanting. You have learned the tools of your trade. You've learned how to write software, how to design circuits, how to analyze algorithms, index databases, troubleshoot segmentation faults, build droids, fly drones, classify images, and many more things besides. You will need these skills, and you're just beginning, so you're going to learn more as your career progresses. But I hope that you will be guided as well by the other things that you have learned here at Notre Dame. You learned from St. Augustine about the distance between the city of man and the city of God. You learned from St. Aquinas the high bar needed to justify the waging of war. You know well the story of the greatest commandment recorded in the book of Matthew. I'd like to read just a little bit of it. When the Pharisees heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together, and one of them, an expert in the law, asked him a question to test him. Pharisee is an ancient Hebrew word that means professor. They asked him a question to test him. Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest? And he said to him, you will love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and with all your mind. This is the greatest and the first commandment. And a second is like it. You will love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. How did we weather the pandemic together? First, by loving God, giving thanks for our talents and our opportunities, by accepting the hardships in front of us, and by finding bits of joy even during difficult times. By loving our neighbors, doing our best to serve one another, whether in person or virtually. How will we address the other challenges in our country, like improving the state of public discourse? By first loving God, seeking truth and peace in our own hearts, and then by loving our neighbors, to seek the good in others, to understand before speaking, to find common ground, and to tolerate differences. How will you tackle the next challenge in your life? By loving God and loving your neighbor. It has been a great pleasure to have you here at Notre Dame. Go forth and do good work. Come back and visit us. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Professor Thane. It is my honor to present this year's CSE Outstanding Faculty Award. Each year, the current graduating class votes for a faculty member that they determine has showed outstanding service to the student body. This year's votes resulted in a tie. So we have two winners. I am proud to recognize this year's two winners of the CSE Faculty Award for 2022. Professors Peter Bowie and Douglas Thane.
Congratulations, graduates. Good to see you. So we haven't done this in 3 years because, well, you know why. And each year I try to say how different is this class from the previous class. So how different are you guys from previous class? Do you think you're better? Really? Because of you? Is that why? If one thing is that you are the greatest, not greatest, sorry, numbers-wise, the largest class, I should say, ever in computer science, 163-ish. So it's a great thing, but it will only last for 1 year because next year it's even bigger. So, but at least for now, be happy that you're the largest class ever. So it was a great class, great people. I'm lucky enough I get to meet most of them when they're freshmen. So I get to see the development in 4 years, and boy, there's a lot of changes. I'd like to congratulate Timmy for, where's Timmy? He's your president, Timmy Gallagher. Timmy Gallagher is your class president. Did a great job. Great job with your senior week events, including the Cubs game here in South Bend, including the dance, which he was smart enough to place it in a sauna this year. The AC broke down, so that's why. And also the booze cruise, sorry, the ship thing, the boat, that boat thing where it has a special attribute. There's as much liquid on top of it than there is underneath it. So those were fun events. I'm going to miss you guys. Tarek, I'm going to miss seeing you with the band. Great picture, by the way, the other day. Awesome stuff. Darius, I'm going to miss that mustache of yours. My goodness. Jay, it was so great to see you come early today. Wow. I promised Jade I would do something. I could go on and on with a few of you, but in the interest of time, I think it's time that we give some awards. And regarding the awards, we give out Outstanding Computer Science Awards and Outstanding Computer Engineering Awards. We've seen the past few years that we have had to increase those numbers because to be sort of proportional to the number of graduates from each class. We also have what's called a Faculty Choice Award. So as I mention your name, come up, we'll take a picture, your parents will take a picture, all that stuff, and then we'll move on. So, the awardees are, I think some of you already know about this because you may have received information. Before I mention them, I just want to acknowledge a couple of students because in the sequence of awards, there's a college-wide award called the Steiner Award, and I think the ceremony for that was already done. So if those two students can stand up so we can acknowledge them. Every department, actually every major, gets a Steiner awardee. So we have one for computer science, one for computer engineering. So just to acknowledge that from computer engineering, Patrick Faley. It's Patrick. And in computer science, Gabriel Silva Simoes. And Patrick, Gabriel, they already took care of you, right? They did the thing. They're all good? Okay, good. So they got their award. Congratulations. That was a college-wide award. Now we have a departmental award, the ones I mentioned. So we'll start with the outstanding, we'll go alphabetically all over. So we'll start with computer engineering. We have 2 awardees. And the first one is Mary Claire Leonard. I want to make sure I give you the right one, Mary Claire. There you go. Okay. How are we going to do this? Here, look at the camera. Does that work?
Yeah,
okay.
thank you.
Good job, Mary Claire. And the next one is Jacob Mazer. Wait, look at camera. Make sure the faculty can be seen. Good job, man. All right, moving on to Computer Science Awards. We have 4 awardees. Of the 163 students, there are about 20 or so computer engineers and 1 million computer science. So we love every single one of them. All right, so I'll go alphabetically. First one is Reno Domel. Next is Thomas Fisher. Next, Margaret Greta Rauch. And Kai Zhang. Yep, make sure you're good. Congratulations to the Computer Science, Computer Engineering Outstanding Senior Awards. A few years ago, we started a new award, which was very intra-departmental, voted on. Also, all of this, by the way, was voted on by the faculty, all of those awards. So we have 4 what we call Faculty Choice Awards. And again, going alphabetically. First, Ryan DeStefano. Sorry, I had to fix something.
It's in the way.
Ryan was a double major, computer science and ACMS. Next, Connor Holohan. Connor wants to make sure you know that his first name is spelled with 1 N. Very important for him. I've known Connor since his high school days. Well, we also have a Connor, but this Connor is with 2 N's. Connor Ruff. Both Connors graduated with a 4.0 GPA. One more. This one can sure give a punch. Nora Tucker. She did Bengal bouts. Baraka bouts, sorry. Yeah, Nora. Congratulations to all the awardees. I need to mention one more thing. I've been the director of undergraduate studies for many years, so through those years I've been through, I don't know how to word it, but quite a few chairs. So when I first started, it was the late Steve Bass, and then when Steve retired for a year or two, Peter Corgi was an interim chair. And then after that, it was Kevin Boyer for a few years, and then for the past 5 years, Pat Flynn. So as many of you may know, Pat Flynn is stepping down as the chair. We're going to miss him a lot, but he's still going to stick around. Of course, the department is still going to be in amazing hands because he's handing it over to Dr. Jane Cleveland Huang, who's going to be the chair starting in July 1st. Is it July 1st? July 1st she starts. So Pat, as many of you who know him well or know him just a little bit, is an absolutely amazing human being. I'm so lucky that I was a DUS for him for 5 years. I'm going to be very lucky to be Jane's DUS as well. But right now, I just want to talk about Pat. I don't know what to say other than I'm so blessed to be your friend, Pat. I'm so blessed to be your friend. So thank you so much.
Ramsey, thank you for the kind words. I told the faculty at our retreat earlier this week that it is a joy to be a chair of a department where everyone works so hard, everyone gets along so well, and we share a vision for computer science and computer engineering. Education at multiple levels, excellence in research, and a real spirit that motivates us to contribute to a community. So it's a wonderful department to be a chair of, and it's in good shape. And I hope that Professor Cleveland Wong takes it to the next level. Thank you. At this point, if I can catch up in my script, we now recognize each member of the department's class of 2022. Graduates, you will proceed in last name alphabetical order, in other words, down your row to the stage where you will come up on the stage from my left, your right, receive your diploma, and stand in between the two cards marked "Stand Here." The two cards are for Ramsey and me. The photographer will take a wonderful picture of the three of us. You will then proceed off the stage to my right, your left, at which point you will receive a second photograph against the gray backdrop, and then you will be congratulated by receiving line of the department's faculty, after which point you will be routed back to your seat by Julie Gray, who is at the end of the frontmost row there. Do I have to repeat these instructions? Hopefully not. Graduates, please note with appreciation the many computer science and engineering concepts at work in this part of the ceremony. Queuing, pipelining, protocols, handshakes, tables, bottlenecks, scripts, and credentials. In your envelope, you will be receiving a diploma and a steel ring with an attached card for the Order of the Engineer induction ceremony, which will happen immediately at the end of the recognition of graduates. We will read the obligation of an engineer from the card, so be ready once all the graduates are done. Nicole Lee Shuping will begin the recognition of graduates.
Good afternoon, everyone. And without further ado, we will begin with the recognition of the graduates. If you guys would like to stand. First up, we have Flavin Abbott. He would like to thank his family and friends for their unwavering support throughout his journey. We have Joshua Agron. He wants to thank his family, the band, and Keenan Hall for a great 4-year adventure. Matthew Aarons. Samantha Allison. She wants to thank her family and friends and all of the wonderful faculty. Darius Balsera. He would like to thank God for making him tall, jacked, and handsome. Quinn Bardwell. Brittany Barton. She wants to thank her family for their support throughout the years. Caitlin Benya. She wants to thank her family for all the support and calls to make sure she's up in time for her 9 a.m. class. She would also like to say thank you to all her friends for all their adventures, as well as understanding her napping requirements. Marcelo Bernath Piccolotto. He thanks his parents and grandparents for their support and for showing him there was a wonderful world to explore. Jack Biggie. He would like to thank his family for their help along his journey. Adam Bisgnani. Adam greatly appreciates the continuous support and love from his family, friends, and professors, and he would not be here today without their continuous help. Volodymyr Bobier. Julia Blanchard. She would like to thank her family and friends for their love and support over the past 4 years. Joshua Bottleberg. He wants to thank everyone it took to get him here, especially his family for their undying, persistent support. Patrick Brennan. He wants to thank his family for their unending support, as well as the computer science department for allowing him to pursue his passions. Jason Brown. Margaret Brown. Maggie would like to thank her family, friends, and professors for all their support over the past 4 years at Notre Dame. Tariq Brown. He wants to thank his family and friends for their support and his CSC cohort for being such a great community. Kelly Buchanan. Julia Buckley. She would like to thank her parents for giving her the gift of a Notre Dame education, Nana for all her love, and her sister Grace for being able to make her smile from over 600 miles away. Bradley Budden. He wants to thank his family for their love and support. Juan Sergio Buenviaje. He wants to thank his family for being his never-ending source of motivation and inspiration. Nicole Camara. She would like to thank her family and especially her dog Gracie for getting her to this point. Marcelo Castellanos Garcia. Brian Caridi. Thanks to Brian's friends and family for their unconditional support throughout life. Joshua Cepeda. He would like to thank the CSE Commons for bearing witness to both his best and worst moments, as well as Professor Peter Bowie. Jae Young Chang. He wants to thank his beautiful family for giving him this opportunity to make great friends and learn from great professors like Ramsey and Geek for Geeks. Garrick Chow. Rona saved his GPA from Bowie, so he guesses it wasn't all that bad. Mark Ching. His parents told him to be an engineer. Parker Chun. He wants to thank his family for their support, ND alumni for sharing their wisdom, and his friends for the fun times and memories. Sarah Claren. Crystal Cologne. She wants to thank God for giving her the opportunity to accomplish this goal. Patrick Creven. Jorge Daboob. He wants to thank his family for all the support and guidance they have given him. Martin Dawson. His gratitude goes out to his mom, dad, sister, and grandparents, to whom he owes endless thanks. He couldn't have done it without them. Will Denon. He wants to thank his family for their love and support, and he wants to shout out to Tommy O.C., Brendan Manfred, Pete Oliver, and PJ Brennan. Ryan DeStefano. He wants to thank his family for their consistent support, his friends for making his time here memorable, and the student machines for withstanding the sophomore attacks. Reno DeMel. Thank you to his family and friends for all their love and support. Theodore Donegan. He would like to thank his family for their constant support and love throughout college.
Dalton Dove. He wants to thank his family and friends for their support. Molly Doyle. She wants to thank her mom, dad, and sister for their endless support. Patrick Faley. He wants to thank his parents for all the hard work they did to support him, and Professor Joshi for guiding him through research at Notre Dame. Ahmed Faraj. Margaret Farrow. She would like to thank Professor Matoyer for inspiring her to pursue a career in the HCI field, as well as her family and friends for their guidance and support throughout the last 4 years. Ryan Farrow. He wants to say thank you to his family for their unconditional love and support. John Theory. He wants to say thank you to his family and friends who have helped him in this great chapter of his life at Notre Dame. Jerry Fernandez. He wants to thank all who made this possible and Grubhub's automated system for always spelling his name right on the orders. Anna Fisher. She wants to shout out to all of her friends who listened to her complain about Arrow all of sophomore year until she switched to computer science. Thomas Fisher. Christian Fox. Timothy Gallagher. He would like to thank his family and friends for helping him out at every step along the way, and he'd like to thank Notre Dame for the best 4 years of his life. Jorge Garcia. Gregory Gavenda. He'd like to thank his family and friends for supporting him through thick and thin and helping to shape him into the person he is today. William Gentry. He sends his deepest thanks to his family for their support and to Dr. Jonathan Computers for his important namesake invention. Zakia George. She would like to thank her parents, sisters, and extended family for their continued love and support throughout her various endeavors. Paul Garrow. He wants to say thank you to God above all for his many blessings, to my family and loved ones, especially those gathered here, and lastly to my beloved fiancée Leah for all your support. Frank Gamoka. He wants to thank his parents and family for supporting his college education, his friends for always being there, and for the opportunity to TA for so many great courses throughout the last few years. John Gordley. He is grateful for his friends and family supporting him along the way and wants to give a special shout out to fellow graduate Ronan McCarter for all the late nights spent on projects together. Vincent Goyette. He'd like to thank his family and friends for being the best he could ask for and for their endless love and support. Riley Griffith. Emily Grow. She wants to thank her family and friends for all their support over the last 4 years. Alejandro Gutierrez Elizondo. He wants to thank his family and friends for all their help and support. Patrick Harkins. Patrick would like to thank his parents, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and Stack Overflow. Stuart Hayden. He wants to thank his family for their support and his friends for the memories. Olivia Hammond. James Hannigan. He wants to say thank you, Mom, Dad, and Grandma. Anne Herman. Sydney Knott. She would like to thank her family, friends, and most importantly, her cat. Nathaniel Ho. He extends a big thanks to his family and friends, as he definitely couldn't have made it without their support. Connor Hollahan. He wants to say thank you to his parents and grandma for supporting him over the past 4 years and making a Notre Dame education possible. Tyler Horwitz. He wants to thank his mom, dad, and girlfriend for all their support, the Notre Dame Undertones and Notre Dame Glee Club for the best brotherhood anyone could ask for, and Tom, Christy, and Nider for being the greatest roommates ever. Jake Rocco. How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard by Winnie the Pooh. Chris Hunt. He wants to say, when the mouth is in danger, he bites back. Mauricio Interiano. He wants to thank his friends, family, and faculty at CS Department for their support. Gavin Jakubik. He wants to thank all of his loved ones for their mentorship and support in Wenninger Lab for making him part of the family. Alan Johnson. He wants to thank his family, teachers, and friends for their support. Rose Kelly. Rose would like to thank her parents for their support throughout college and her professors for everything they've taught her.
Robert Canuta. He wants to thank his friends and family for their support. Charles Kramer. He wants to say thank you to my family and friends for an awesome 4 years. Tyler Krasny. He wants to give a shout out to his friends, family, and heaps of coffee that got him through the last 4 years, and probably this morning. Zachary Kreft. He wants to thank his family and friends for their constant love and support over the years. Joseph Keebler. Grace Coolin. Calvin Cusack. He wants to thank his family for their support and his friends for the great memories. Jonathan Lamptey. He would like to thank God, family, and friends for helping him go through the last 4 years. Connor Laracy. Michael Lee. He would like to thank his friends and family for their support. Sung Woo Lee. She would like to thank her family for their support and Brothers Bar and Grill for getting me through hard times with their $2 burger nights. Nicole Lee Shripin. She'd like to thank her friends, family, professors, TAs, and especially Starbucks for getting her through the last 4 years. Mary Claire Leonard. She says, thank you to my mom for encouraging me to try engineering the first year, and to my sister for convincing me that Calc 3 was worth it. Abigail Leone. She wants to thank her family, friends, and mentors for their continued support and encouragement along the way. Devin Lilly. He's forever grateful for Mom, Dad, Lauren, Maya, and Brady, and wants to thank Stonehill College. Nicholas Lacazio. He wants to thank his family, dog, and dollar store candy section for getting him here. Megan Lilly. Megan is grateful for the memories she has made at Notre Dame and all the people who have supported her along the way. Kanan Lumentas. He says, thanks to my family and friends for getting me here. Keegan McDonald. He wants to thank his family and friends for their support. Megan Majette. She wants to thank her family and for their support and generous grading from the professors. Brendan Manfred. He would like to thank his parents, brother, and sister for their continued support over these past 4 years. Samantha Manfreda. wants to thank Ramsey for letting her doodle on his whiteboard for an entire year and always responding to emails within the hour. Stacy Manrique. Nicholas Marshall. He wants to thank his family and friends for supporting him these last 4 years. Pablo Martinez Abrego Gonzalez. He wants to thank his family, friends, classmates, and the CSE department for their support and guidance over the last 4 years, as well as ND football for giving such a memorable games and experiences, including storming the field against Clemson. Jack Mashapinto. He wants to thank his family for them introducing him to an ND fan early and a coder quad for being classic. Lukasz Matvejček. He wants to thank his family and friends for their support. Jacob Mazer. Mary McCann. She wants to thank her family and friends for their continued support. Ronan McCarter. He would like to thank his parents for always supporting his education and his siblings for keeping him humble. Daniel McCarthy. He says, thanks to God, my family, the circle, and office hours for getting me here. Daniel McFarland. He says, thanks to God, my family, the circle, and office hours for getting me here. Patrick McGrath. He wants to thank his family and the CSE O'Neill boys. Ross McIlvain. He would like to thank his friends and family for their constant love and support. Nolan McShay. He wants to thank his family for their love and pride, and for Professor Bowie for being epic. Epic with a B. Oh, epic. Eric Meyer. Rafael Mendizabal. He wants to thank his family for making this possible. Tucker Mercier. He wants to thank his parents for their love and support throughout his entire life, especially throughout the last few years. He couldn't have done this without you.
Evan Mercurio. Thank you to my family, friends, and Larry Tesler. Bryn Moran. She wants to thank her family and friends for their love and support. Timothy Moran. He wants to thank friends, family, and lots of Google searches for getting him here. David Moses. He wants to thank his entire support system and looks forward to life after graduation. Jacob Mazzen. Connor Murphy. He is grateful for the professors and classmates that were part of these last 4 years. Thomas O'Connor. Thomas would like to thank his family for getting him to this point and is grateful for the friends that he worked in this major with. Peter Oliver. I would like to thank my friends and family for making my experience incredible, and Teo for the countless pictures of his cat, Chuck. Ryan Peretz. He switched from Mendoza. Cesar Pera Castro. Billy Porter. He wants to thank his parents, Coder Quad, and all the hard work and support from the great professors. Grace Chi. She wants to thank her relatives for coming all the way to attend the ceremony and Chick-fil-A for creating Diet Frosted Lemonade. Juliana Ramos. Juliana wants to dedicate her diploma to her family for always inspiring, supporting, and loving her. Margaret Rauch. She wants to thank her family, friends, and fantastic professors, faith, and free food. Christopher Renders. He wants to thank his family, friends, peers, and professors for their support and guidance over the last 4 years. Walter Robson. He wants to thank his mother and grandmother for encouraging him to go to Notre Dame and Zom House for its incredible sense of community over the years. Andrew Rocks. He'd like to thank all of his excellent professors for giving him an outstanding computer science education experience. He'd also like to thank all of his family for supporting him and all of his friends and classmates for the work that they have done together throughout the years. Simon Rodriguez. Estefania Romero. She wants to thank her friends, family, and CS department for these amazing years and wish her classmates the best in what lies ahead. Connor Ruff. He wants to thank his family for their love and belief in him and his friends for making amazing memories. John Rundle. He'd like to thank his family and his friends and the generous late penalties, both of which he owes his degree to. Chase Saka. Chase wants to thank her family, fellow classmates, and professors for their support throughout her degree. Gabrielle Silva Simones. He wants to thank his family and fiance for their unconditional support and friends for keeping him company through his all-nighters. Harrison Snow. He wants to thank his family and friends for their support. Patrick Soga. He thanks his family and the CSE faculty and their staff for their support. He looks forward to being able to eat at 2:30 p.m. on a Sunday. Jack Strong. He would like to thank his mom and dad for their support and dedication throughout his life. Joseph Swilem. He'd like to thank his family for always supporting him and putting his best interest and works forward to push him constantly and improve. Zachary Sy. In theory, there is no difference between theory and practice. In practice, there is. Joshua Tabar. Norris Talbot. Darren Tong. Matthew Tressler. Nora Tucker. She would like to thank her family, friends, and professors for helping her pursue her dreams. Blaze Von Olin. He is incredibly thankful for his two lifelong shepherds, mom and dad, for their endless love and support. Yay, Finn. Tanner Waltz. He wants to thank his parents and his brother for their continuous love and support, as well as all of his family in attendance for coming to celebrate his achievements. Spencer Wells. He wants to thank his mom, dad, and 3 younger brothers for teaching him how to focus in noisy rooms. Ryan Wigglesworth. He wants to thank his family and friends for their support and dedication. Dane Williams. He wants to thank his family, friends, and professors for all their support. Kakoa Wong. This degree was NP hard, but am I or am I not NP complete without it? That is the eternal question. Caitlin Wyatt. She wants to thank her family for all that they have done for her, including taking care of her dog, and she wants to thank her peers for being an incredible community and support, even during the most difficult of classes. Andrew Yin. He wants to thank his family and friends and Stack Overflow for always being there for him. Hen Zahor. She wants to thank Mama, Baba, and Yazin for supporting me and loving me through it all. Hongray Zhang. Kai Zhang. Nicholas Zulo. He wants to thank his family for their undying support and guidance, as well as Kevin Boyer for introducing him to his full-time employment home.
I should note that there was one element of computer science in that pipeline that I didn't mention, and that's called an error correcting code. We had an off by 1 error, and Ramsey and I were smooth. None of you noticed it, and all the diplomas wound up with the right person. We will now complete the initiation of our graduates into the order of the engineer. Will the graduates please stand, take out the card and ring, and be ready to recite the obligation of the engineer when you request it. I have a brief statement before you do that gives you time to get the card out. Candidates for the order. The Order of the Engineer is an independent movement. The purpose is to foster a feeling of pride in and dedication to our profession. Your membership in the order is symbolized by the acceptance of an obligation and the wearing of the stainless steel ring on the little finger of the working hand. There are no meetings other than this ceremony, and there are no dues. It is with humility and the need for divine guidance that we take the following pledge. Please raise your right hand and recite with me the obligation of an engineer. I am an engineer. In my profession, I take deep pride. To it, I owe solemn obligations. As an engineer, I pledge to practice integrity and fair dealing, tolerance and respect, and to uphold devotion to the standards and the dignity of my profession, conscious always that my skill carries with it the obligation to serve humanity by making the best use of the earth's precious wealth. As an engineer, I shall participate in none but honest enterprises. When needed, my skill and knowledge shall be given without reservation for the public good. In the performance of duty and in fidelity to my profession, I shall give my utmost. Thank you. Graduates, please remain standing for just a minute. Class of 2022, this is truly your weekend, and you deserve to bask in the affection of your friends and family and in the glow of friendship with your classmates. It is a milestone for you and for your families. After all, they established your roadmap. They developed you all the way from alpha to minimum viable product. They helped you fix your bugs as your version number incremented. They spun you off into adulthood and to the startup incubator called Notre Dame. And today, they celebrate your release party. Graduates, I would like you to turn toward your family members and thank them for all of their support. Wherever they are. Thank you. Please be seated for some final remarks. I begin by asking you to join me in thanking the student organizers, the department's administrative staff, and the university's event staff that made today's ceremony possible. Please join me in a round of applause for these wonderful organizers. As a reminder, please gather with the faculty for a class photograph at the bleachers, that-a-way, after the ceremony concludes. Graduates, I'd like to suggest to you that this might be one of a small number of days in your life that might qualify as perfect, a joyful celebration with the most personalized cheering section imaginable, in the company of friends you'll keep for a lifetime. But this day is also a parting, and unavoidably a sad one, as in a matter of hours you will scatter in all directions to begin the next phase, whatever it may be. Tearful smiles, soggy hugs are appropriate on such an occasion of joyfully sad, bittersweet perfection. A request from all of us in the department and the university who helped and encouraged you on this journey of learning and growth. Do something that you love to do in a way that makes this world a better place. Work for justice, strive for peace, run for office, volunteer in a school, tend a garden, play in a community band, help to build a habitat house. In other words, devote some of your passion to service. Be accountable to those you lead and hold your leaders accountable. Be a good example, model the virtues needed in this world, and be patient with its faults while striving to do your part to correct them. This world needs your gifts. It needs your technical skills, of course, but it also needs your big hearts and your unflagging sense of commitment. Although you will not gather here together again in the same way that you have over these last 4 years, you must return here when you can. Notre Dame is and always will be a home for you, so return often and be welcome. There will be weddings and tailgates and alumni events aplenty. The lakes will be here, inviting a quiet walk. The grotto, the basilica, and the residence hall chapels will beckon you to visit for prayer and contemplation. You may discover an open door on the office of a beloved professor, or an interesting new random eatery in a campus building that has sprouted up while you were away. The warm welcome you felt in August 2018 will still be here for you graduates of May 2022, no matter how many years pass. Congratulations. God bless you. Go Irish.
Congratulations, fellow graduates, I should say. The way we're going to conclude this celebration of our graduation today is we're all going to rise and sing the alma mater together. So please all rise.
Thank you.